I'd like to ask Kim Lee from the Wright School of Business to come forward to address the graduates.
When you think of Dalton State College, what comes to your mind? For some, it's the beep beep. For others, it's just education that comes to mind. For me, the phrase run boldly strikes me. When I began my journey at Dalton State, I heard the phrase run boldly and thought, what does that even mean? Well, it was a question that I asked myself for the past 4 years. Being at Dalton State, I have learned several lessons which have helped me to understand what it means to run boldly. The first lesson that I learned was to be brave. Being so young and in college, I had so many questions. I was under the impression that the major that I chose, I had to stick with. Originally, I was a nursing major and wanted to become an amazing nurse. However, as time went by, I realized that I was not meant to be a nurse. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm the type of person who likes everything to be planned out perfectly, and any disruption to the plan is unacceptable. So for me to even consider changing my major was out of the question. I was so scared of all the what-ifs that could pop up. What if I fall behind in my time to graduate? Or what if I end up not even liking my new major? What if I waste my time even trying? All of those questions consumed me, and that was where lesson 1 kicked in. I realized that I needed to be brave and courageous and go for what I really wanted. I stopped listening to all the what-ifs and started taking action. So I changed my major. I went from a nursing student to a business student. I even remember the day that I changed my major and I went to meet my new advisor. Dr. Helms had just walked by the office as well. She stopped and shook my hand, and she said with a big smile, "Welcome to the Wright School of Business. You made the right decision." With a firm handshake, I was reassured that I really did make the right decision. When I began my classes, everything was clicking and making sense. I enjoyed what I was learning, and I could relate it to the small business that I was working at. The issue that I ran into was that I had no one around me. All the friends that I had made were in the nursing program still, so I was alone. Honestly, I just wanted to go to class, take notes, get good grades, and leave the campus. I had the mindset to be distant from everyone, and as classes went on, I realized that I could not do things alone. I needed people around me to talk to and get to know and get help from. Lesson 2, open up to others. When people tried to start a conversation, rather than saying very little, I tried to be more engaged. I ended up making some great friends that have stuck with me through the rest of my Dalton State journey. Not only did I gain the confidence to speak to classmates, I ended up gaining the confidence to speak in front of the class. Just 2 years ago, I was scared to speak in front of a class. My heart would be beating so fast, and it felt like my body was going numb. I might not be a professional at speaking, but look, I'm here today speaking to everyone here. After switching my major, it did feel a little like starting over. I was in a different field of study. I went from learning about biology and how the body works to learning that assets equal liabilities plus equity. My focus was finishing school and finding a job. I could imagine the end goal, but I couldn't really see it. And that's because it was too far away. I was too hung up on the fact that I needed to graduate that I didn't look at what was right in front of me. I didn't focus on the process itself. The third lesson that I learned was that the process is done little by little. Rather than focusing on graduating and getting out of school, I shifted my focus on making connections with classmates. I even ended up getting an internship with the college, and I celebrated the little victories because those need to be appreciated too. When you climb steps on a ladder, it's much easier to climb step by step. Skipping steps to get up the ladder faster does come with risks. It's more straining to try to take a giant leap, and you could easily fall off or lose your foot placement. So I gave myself a new mentality. I went semester by semester, working diligently. I looked at what was right in front of me that semester, and the process went by quicker. Before I knew it, I was in the final semester at Dalton State. I think the next situation we can all relate to. In the final spring semester, I struggled with my motivation. The end was right in front of me. All I had to do was complete the classwork and take my exams. Unfortunately, COVID hit with the kick of senioritis. Not only was the class structure disrupted, but our motivation was down. While some classes felt easier because they were online, other classes that were already difficult increased in difficulty. Assignments were getting harder to complete, and the struggle was just too much. The next lesson that I learned was to have determination. Without determination, I do not think any of us would be sitting here today. We had to quickly adapt to the new world that we were facing. Our laptops and cameras became our new best friend, and we had to face this new world. I think the struggle that we all faced has made our minds stronger. We really can accomplish what we set our minds to. We might have to push a little harder at the end, but it's so satisfying to look back and to see all the hard work that we put into our journey. In our time at Dalton State, I think that there are so many lessons that we learn without even thinking about it. I know we go to school to get an education, but do you ever think about all the other lessons that you learn beyond the textbook? I think these are the skills that we need to carry on regardless of where we are. As a roadrunner, we have learned that everything we do must be done boldly. We run boldly, learn boldly, teach boldly, and so on. What does it mean to you to run boldly? Looking at everyone today, I can say that I truly understand what it means to run boldly. We need to be brave, open up to others, move little by little, and stay determined. I believe this combination will help to mold us into the successful people we are meant to be. Whatever it means to you to run boldly, I wish you all the best on your endeavors. May you all continue to relentlessly pursue everything boldly in all parts of your life. Thank you, everyone, and congratulations.